Hey gang, today I want to give a little advice on for all the cross-dressers out there who have found my channel, and hopefully the ones who will in the future, to give you some advice on possibly coming out to your spouse, or if you have come out to your spouse about your cross-dressing, or she's discovered it and she has questions. Give you some tips and techniques for handling this sort of thing and getting along with your wife and making this work in your marriage. I know there's a lot of us out there who have these desires and have been doing this and hiding it from our wives, and we would really like her to know, but we're maybe afraid to tell her, and that's between you and your wife. But this video is for those who have decided, they've made the decision that I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to tell my wife. My wife needs to know about me. My wife needs to know about my feelings. Okay, and when you come to that point, over 40 years of dealing with the trans community and talking with spouses and couples, and being in a relationship for 30 years myself, I've got some tips and ideas that might make it go a little bit better for you. Okay, so with that in mind, I'd like to begin. We can jokingly call them Rachel's 10 Commandments of cross-dressing within your marriage. Number 1, present well. Make sure that you understand what it is that you're feeling and what those feelings mean, or whether or not you may be trans or not transgendered, but you just like to wear the clothes of the opposite sex. There's nothing wrong with that. Understand it, okay, and own it. All right. Present confidently to your spouse. Okay, you're not confessing to a horrible crime, as so many of us who have first come out to our wives felt like, this is such a terrible thing, but I need to tell her, and it comes out like you're a serial killer or something. You don't want it to sound that way. It's a positive thing. You're trying to be honest in your relationship. You're just explaining another aspect of yourself, and you want to, of course, stress that you are the same person you've always been. You've been doing this all along. You've had these feelings all along. Maybe you've been doing it since you were 6 years old. But you're the same person, and you're not going anywhere, and you're not, you just want her to know and hopefully understand. The second thing you need to do, once you've presented your this thing to your wife, is listen to your wife. Okay? She may say, you know what, I need to take some time. Okay? Now you've said all you need to say. If she has any questions for you, fine, answer them. But if she doesn't have any questions, if she just wants time, if she just puts her hands up and says, okay, I'm going to need to take a couple of days here, let her take a couple of days, give her space. It's not the end of the world. You got to believe me here. Trust me, when I came out to my girlfriend 30 years ago, I thought it might be the end of my world. And we have been married and raised family, and we're still together. Okay? But give them their time. Now, if you've already come out and she was okay with it, but maybe she's having some issues with it now because maybe you're doing it a little too much. Okay? That's where this listen to your spouse thing comes in. She's going to tell you how she feels about it in no uncertain terms, I hope. Okay? So, listen to what she's saying. If she says, oh, well, okay, I think we can work this out. She didn't say, oh, this is awesome, honey. Now run into the bedroom and put on your sexiest outfit and get out here and model it for me while I get us a couple glasses of wine. Okay? But this sort of selective hearing I've seen in trans people and cross-dressers for the last 30 years, off and on with different couples, and it can ruin your marriage. Don't go too fast. Okay? She wants time, let her have time. Okay? The third thing I want to talk about is if she has said that, okay, I get it, I'm educated, I've seen Caitlin, I know what it's about. Say, fine, keep it to yourself. Show her that you can continue to do it without anybody knowing about it. Okay, you're not going to let the neighborhood in on it. You're going to keep it a secret. Keep it to yourself. Show her you can be just as discreet about it as you've always been. I know you want to do it more, but you got to show her that you can control it, because it's still a new thing to her. Okay. The fourth thing I'd like to cover is very important. Okay, and it is wear your own clothes. All right, and I know a lot of us are bigger girls. We may be quite a bit larger than our wives. Okay, but some of us are not. Some of us may be close to the same size as our wife. Don't think that you can wear her clothes and it's going to be okay. Unless she told you it was going to be all right. Unless she said, "Oh, this is awesome. Now we can go shopping together and we can trade clothes." If that happens, God bless you. You're doing great. But it probably won't. And a lot of you probably already know that. Anyway, wearing her clothes is a terrible invasion of her privacy. She wouldn't even want her own sister to do it. Okay? So don't. Get your own stuff. Have your own wardrobe. Okay? Now I want to reiterate, you can call this number 5 if you like, but take baby steps throughout this entire process. Okay? Nice and slow. Don't go too fast. Your emotions can get the best of you, and what you perceive, her little bit of acceptance to you, what you perceive could be that she's telling you, go full board, just go. And you could be, my analogy is like a water that has burst over a dam and is flooding downstream to flood the little villages in its path, and all the little villagers are running, screaming away from the water, and they won't return. Okay? And this could be your family. So don't let your emotions get the best of you. And, I've seen people come out to their wives about cross-dressing, and within 10 months, they're having butt implants and breast implants and getting their name changed, and they've lost everything. And then they realized, you know what, I think I would have rather kept everything than become a woman. And they scrambling now trying to get it all back and turn their lives all back around the other way. Don't go too fast. I've seen it. Number 6 is a really good one. It's pretty important. Unless your wife has told you otherwise. Given you permission, in other words, otherwise. And yeah, we're all adults here and it's a free country, but on some things you kind of need your partner's permission, especially as it relates to this stuff. So here it comes. Lingerie in the bed. Never, 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 never. Did I say never? Now, I know it's got to be fun, right? It is fun, okay? But you have taken a little bit of your wife's role and kind of shared it with her now. You like to wear clothes just like her. You like to present yourself as a girl, okay? So she's losing that in the relationship. She's the girl. In her eyes, she's the girl, okay? Now you guys might be sharing the same closet with the same kind of clothes, so she's losing space there. And she sees you trying to play a role of a woman, so she's losing a little bit of that individuality there. She's still got to be the girl in bed, all right? Respect that, okay? Unless she begs you to put on lingerie and jump into bed with her and go at it like two girls, don't do it, okay? You're going to push her away. Number 7, seek guidance. Go find a good gender therapist, okay, or a support group. First of all, a support group's not bad. They're all over the place. They're all over the country. They're all over the world. They have websites. Chats, trans chat rooms are really cool. And YouTube is really cool for getting advice. Maybe advice that you don't want, like what I'm maybe doing right now. But nothing beats face-to-face. So go to a support group. They're protected environments. Your anonymity will probably be protected. It should be. It has been in my experience. Otherwise, they don't stay in business too long. And go and meet people and find out a little bit more about other people that have the same issues as you, or maybe you can learn a bit more about yourself this way. But then, get a good gender therapist too, and talk to them. One that has been referred to you, or you've been referred to by a human being, by somebody else that you met in a support group. Not just because you picked up the phone and found a gender therapist in the phone book. They mostly don't really know what they're talking about. You got to seek out the good ones. Okay? Number 8. Continue to respect your wife. It's all about her as you move through this process of her accepting your trans tendencies or trans desires, or cross-dressing as it is. This is about her acceptance, and acceptance takes time. Okay? So throughout this whole process, you really have to respect your wife. It really is all about her. This video is all about you and your wife, but this process is all about her. Number 9, dress like a lady. Okay? Society has uniforms for men. Drab colored slacks and pants, jackets and shirts, commensurate with whatever career they're in. It has a uniform for women. A little more colorful attire, dresses or skirts, even slacks with different height heels and jewelry and bling and stuff like that, commensurate with the work that they do or their career. Okay? Don't dress like your career is in sex work. Now, if I've offended all the girls out there who are in sex work, I apologize. Everybody's got to make a buck. But you don't want your wife to get the impression that you want to go around dressed that way, because it kind of might make her a little uncomfortable, if you know what I mean. I know it's fun and I know it makes you feel sexy. You can do it at home, or you can do it at a protected support group where nobody else is going to see you. Okay, don't. Also, I'd appreciate it if you not show the public, give the public the impression that this is what trans women do, because it's not. I know it's a phase that most of us go through in our dressing puberty, if you will, of acting like a teenager, and trying on all different kinds of sexy things and trying to find your identity. Okay, but if you're a middle-aged male like myself, you really don't want to look like you're dressing like a 25-year-old lady of the street. No offense to 25-year-old ladies of the street, but you dress for your age. And number 10, a little more fashion advice that you probably didn't want: dress for your body type. Okay, a lot of us are tall. And believe it or not, there's a lot of things you can dress, a lot of ways you can dress, a lot of outfits you can wear that will make you look feminine. Okay, stay away from vertical patterns with vertical stripes or vertical. This is I guess this is kind of a horizontal pattern. If you're wear low heels, if you're wide, wear darker colors, and stay away from stay away from horizontal stripes. Don't wear horizontal stripes because they're going to make you look wider. Some of us are, if you're 5 foot tall and you weigh 120 pounds, you know, you're probably going to be able to pass pretty well. But a lot of us are considerably taller than that and considerably broader in the shoulder than most women. So a foam hip padding works really good to give you that hourglass figure. It's really easy to make, and I may do a tutorial on that coming up. It doesn't cost a lot of money, and it's very lightweight. It's unbelievably comfortable. You can put hip pads and pad your butt and give you a feminine shape to where people won't even look twice at you on the street because you'll be shaped just like a girl. You know, get your makeup done right. You know, go to an image consultant. I'm going to be doing a spot on a trans-friendly wig shop and clothing store where they also do makeovers. There's a lot of those out there. And you know what? You could probably travel, you know, 40, 50 miles away from your home where no one's going to recognize you. Go to the mall or go shopping somewhere at a strip mall or somewhere. You could probably get a makeover at any national makeup store that does makeovers. You know, I know a lot of the big department stores do them. The upper class department stores have beauty shops in them and where they do makeovers. Nowadays, you can book an appointment there and go have a makeover. Okay? It takes a lot of nerve. It does for some of us. Some of us it's easy. But some of us think of it as stage fright. You're going to go out and you're going to be red. You're not going to pass that well. People are going to know who you are. And you're going to be stared at. And so if you can get over that stage fright, you know, it took me a long time to do it, but I go now wherever I want to go. If I really want to go somewhere, I just go. And I go alone. Most women go in pairs or couples, but I just go alone. And that's kind of a masculine thing, but I don't care, you know, I'm not trying to fool anybody. I present well, and you should present well and fashionably, okay, and people won't care. If they realize or if they start to think that they may be addressing a man or talking to a man, they really don't care. Okay? Now, a lot of you youngins that may be watching this video are saying, what's the big deal, Rachel? Why do you have to tell these people this? It's 2017, just be yourself. You know, it's all good. And it is for the most part, but a lot of us live in non-trans friendly areas, okay, where we have to keep this discreet. A lot of us middle-aged people or older people are old school, and we grew up believing that, you know, if we told anybody about this aspect of us, that we could be beaten, okay, especially, or even just ostracized, or we could lose our job, ostracized from the community. We don't want to embarrass our wives. They're old school as well, if you're middle-aged. And our parents are really old school, so we don't want to bring any embarrassment upon them. They shouldn't be embarrassed, okay? In a perfect world, everybody should just accept it, but it's not a perfect world. So we are realists. This video is for the realists who are trying to keep this discreet, trying to keep it controlled, and trying to keep their marriages together, okay? That's what this video is for, to give you guys a little bit of advice. Some of us work for people who are old school. Might fire us if they found out about this, you know? And yeah, that's wrong, but some of us work at places that don't have human resources departments. We have no place to go, you know. Yeah, they may be breaking the law by discriminating against us, but it's really easy. It's really easy for someone who doesn't like us, and I'm not saying all employers hate us, but for people that don't like us to find a reason to let us go if we're working for them. Okay, that's the real world. I think that's about all I got. I'm sure I could come up with some more, but I don't want to give it all away in one day. I hope you continue to watch, and please comment, and don't forget to subscribe. Peace and love to all, and let's just try to accept everyone for who they are.